Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We are going to be talking about Caramel Sundays Scoops Ahoy. Now, if you caught a video that I did, probably I want to say might have been about 2 weeks ago, you guys kind of got to witness me in kind of like live filming time have a little bit of a change of heart about this candle. So this candle was initially launched in the April restock. And the reason why I am doing this review is A, I think it's always good for me to document my thoughts, but B, Caramel Sundays did decide to bring this fragrance back in their May restock, which is happening this Sunday, May 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They are bringing this fragrance back in both the 4-wick format and the 5-wick format. The review that I'm doing here is on their 2-wick vessel. This is about 18 ounces of 100% soy wax, but this will be available this Sunday in their 4-wick, which retails for about, I want to say it's $64.99. That does include the cost of shipping. All of Caramel Sundays candles include cost of shipping. But that is for 40 ounces of 100% soy wax. And then the 5-wick vessel is 75 ounces, and I believe that retails for $99. If you have any kind of rewards points accrued, you can save an up to 15%. And you guys know, Caramel Sundays is a small business that prides themselves in non-toxic ingredients. But anyways, I thought, you know what, let's go ahead and document my thoughts on this candle because again, I've kind of had a little bit of a change of heart about this one. And I think there's been some questions about how similar this is to another fragrance that Caramel Sundays has had had around for the last couple of months. So yeah, I thought, you know what, let me go ahead and give my take on it. The fragrance notes on Scoops Ahoy are listed as top notes of vanilla bean ice cream, crushed pineapple, mid notes of chopped nuts, maraschino cherries, base note of ripe bananas, and sugary pecans. So, one of the things that I noticed, more so upon burn than I did initially on cold, is that when this candle is burning, you can definitely tell that it shares a similar family DNA to Caramel Sunday's Honey Badger fragrance. So if you had Honey Badger, if you have it in your collection, if you really enjoy that one on warm, that one definitely has kind of a buttery pecan. There's some pineapple in there, but the pineapple note to my nose is not overly artificial or overly sweet. It's there, but again, it's not like the main focus to my nose. Really, for me, when I was burning Honey Badger, I got a lot of nuttiness, of pecan, of kind of like a buttery type of cake. I'm going to go ahead and pull up actually the fragrance notes for Honey Badger so that way we can compare. The top notes of Honey Badger are listed as ripe bananas, honey butter, mid notes of juicy pineapple and honey, and then base notes of pecan, butter cake, and vanilla. So we see some crossover here. Obviously, both fragrances offer bananas, pecans, pineapple, a lot of nuttiness. The difference with Scoops Ahoy is that they're claiming that there's a top note of vanilla bean ice cream. Truthfully, you guys, I don't get any of that. I really don't. Now, the thing that I feel like separates Scoops Ahoy from Honey Badger is that this smells to me a little bit like again, the original composition of Honey Badger with a cherry note, which might sound a little strange, but it does work, you guys. And I would say that if you are familiar with Caramel Sundays as a brand overall, I have heard that the cherry note listed here is the same cherry note that is in their cherry mousse candle, which they typically offer in their spring restocks. I personally have not smelled that candle yet. Maybe next year I'll get around to it. I, for one, am somebody who cherry can be a little bit hit or miss with me. And even then, you guys, it's not really a fragrance that I find myself clamoring for. I would say probably my favorite cherry fragrance would probably be, I would say it would probably be Kringle Candles Cherry Pie. I really like that fragrance. But even then again, I probably don't like cherry as much as like a blueberry or something like that. I'm getting into the weeds here, but what I want to say is that this cherry note in here, it does work. Because I will say that this candle to me is definitely like the toppings that you would put on an ice cream sundae. I don't get the creaminess of 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 a vanilla ice cream. I will say that that is lacking in here, but what I get is the warmth from the chopped nuts and the sugary pecans. I do get a little bit of that banana in here, but again, it's not as rich and gourmand banana as I get, say, in their monkey business candle. That to me is very like gourmand, um, gourmand banana, whereas this is more kind of in that like a ripe, like a freshly sliced banana, I would say. It's not like a cooked banana type of fragrance. And I will say in this fragrance, I don't get the cake note that I did get in the Honey Badger fragrance. I feel like what is different in this one is instead of a cake note, I'm getting cherry. And again, the cherry note in here is definitely like a maraschino cherry. It's authentic, it's not medicinal, but it does smell like, yeah, like a maraschino, I guess. So I do like this fragrance. This one was on my chopping block because I was kind of like, it's a like for me, but it's not a love. However, because I still have about half of a 4-wick of Honey Badger still in my collection, I decided that I wanted to keep this because I do find that this does pair really nicely with Honey Badger. And so for that reason, I still do have a purpose for it in my collection. And I enjoy it enough that I don't feel the need to like just get rid of it. It does have a very nice fragrance. And then we can kind of segue here into the performance. You can see here that I've got a nice deep wax pool. I did originally like this one outside here today to go ahead and get it going because I knew I was going to do this review. I live in Arizona, so at the time that I am filming this, Drew, if you are watching this, it is almost 7 o'clock in the evening, and let's take a gander at what temperature it is. It is currently 89 degrees outside. But it's a dry heat. That's the thing that everybody always says here in Arizona. And, 89 when it's a dry heat is actually not terribly bad. In fact, I'm sitting outside right now and not sweating at all. Very, very different for those of you who live on the East Coast, Midwest, in the South, where you actually experience humidity. It's a bit dry out here, out west. Now, ask me of how I feel about that dry heat in about 2 weeks when it's probably near 110, and I will say it's just an oven. But anyways, you guys, while I had this out here, I've only had this lit for maybe about an hour, hour and a half, and you can already see how deep that wax pool is. Again, nice warm air to get that going. Anyways, I feel like I've been all over the place with this review, you guys. What I wanted to say is that this candle in a 2-wick performs quite well for me, which makes me think that if you are eyeing this in this weekend's restock, in the 4-wick or the 5-wick, I think you are going to be pretty pleased with the performance. This candle for me in a hurricane in my open concept is a good solid 8. It definitely throws quite well. The throw is actually almost a 9 in this 2-wick, but I would say I'm going to gander, say more like 8.5, right? Let's just say 8.5 in terms of the throw. Strength of it is about an 8. It's not overwhelming. It's not cloying. Again, like I said, cherry, hit or miss type of note for me, but I do enjoy it. It's just that it's not a love for me. Whereas I have been saying, like, for people who have been asking, like, this one or Honey Badger. Personally, you guys, I like Honey Badger slightly more, but I am going to say that the reason why is because Honey Badger is more versatile and it pairs a little bit nicer with candles that I already have in my collection, say like Kringle candles, banana bread. I'm trying to think of another one that I have in there. I feel like it would pair nicely with if you have the retired fruit and flakes or sugared diamonds from Kringle. That's another one that it pairs nicely with. Whereas this one, because of that cherry note, I have to be a little bit more selective about what I'm wanting to pair this with. But again, you guys, not a bad fragrance. If you liked Honey Badger, if you like their cherry mousse and you like that cherry note, then I think that this one is going to be a safe bet. Or again, if you're watching this review, and you've already purchased the candle and have it, I mean, thank you for watching it. You probably don't need to, but thank you for watching it anyways. But if you've already smelled this candle and you like it, then this weekend is going to be your last chance to get a backup of it in a larger sized vessel if you want more of it. So let me know in the comment section down below if you have experienced this candle. What are your thoughts? Do you, especially if you're familiar with honey badger or the cherry mousse, uh, chime in with your thoughts down below. Help everybody out. I know a lot of people are going to be finalizing their caramel sundaes wish list for this weekend, and the more opinions that we can get, the better. I know that myself and a lot of the other ambassadors and even non-ambassadors who have channels or Instagram accounts are chiming in with a lot of their thoughts. And I always say this, that it's really important that you guys make sure that you're really the people who are quote unquote influencing your decision making are the people who you share similar fragrance preferences with, or that in the past we tend to pick up on similar fragrance notes when we've been describing fragrances. I think that that's always really, really important. So yeah, lots of opinions out there, but let me know what yours are down below. Please hit thumbs up if you found this review helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.